Hi everybody, welcome to Must Do Farm. My name is Jonathan Benjamin, and since the holidays are in full swing, we're getting there. I thought today I would love to make for you a recipe that my mom made for me, and as I grew up, I love to make. It's a very easy recipe, and nothing says holidays like fudge, specifically chocolate fudge. And really the only things you need are sugar, chocolate chips, vanilla, marshmallow cream, butter or margarine, and evaporated milk. So you have that, you can definitely make this. So we're gonna start with 3 cups. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's the holidays. So 3 cups of sugar. One, you put it in a medium to large saucepan. 2, and 3. All right, now that we've got our sugar in the pan, we want to add our evaporated milk, and you want to make sure that you get evaporated milk and not condensed milk. So you got to shake this well. And I was always confused if it was evaporated milk, if there would be anything in here or not whenever you open it, but usually there is. So, all right. And you only need about 2/3 of a cup of this. So. One and 2. Okay. All right, now that we have our sugar and our evaporated milk, we need to add 3/4 of a cup, either butter or margarine. So, go ahead, I have a 1/4 cup here, and the butter is like kind of at room temperature, which I think is nice because it's easier to get in to your vessel. All right, so that's 1. And 3. So now that we have all these ingredients set in here, we want to get this onto our stove. So we're going to do this on about medium heat, and we're going to cook it for about 4 minutes or until it gets about 234 degrees on the candy thermometer. So you can follow me and we'll head over to the stove. All right, so we have all that on the stove. I want to make sure and say too, we would like to use a wooden spoon just because if you're cooking at high temperatures, it can melt the plastic. So you've got this going, you've got your sugar, your evaporated milk, and your butter in the saucepan, so you need to bring it to a full rolling boil, so on medium heat. And once it gets to a full rolling boil is when, you can see it really bubbling and stuff. Once you get there, you are going to stir it constantly for about 4 minutes. And at that point, you'll take it off the heat and add in some more stuff. But you want to make sure that you're constantly stirring this. Not only will it help it from being like grainy, it'll also make sure it doesn't burn the bottom of your pan. So more stirring is better than not. So you can check back in with us in just a few minutes, and we'll show you where we're at. All right, so once you get to this stage, this is what we call a full rolling boil, and we will stir it constantly for 4 minutes. And at that point, we should be able to take it off and add our final ingredients. But again, if you're using a candy thermometer, you can keep an eye on it, and once it gets to 234 degrees, then you are also set. All right, so now it's been going for about 4 minutes, and we're ready to take it off of the stove. And so I'm gonna move it over here, and then what you want to start to do is add in all the other things. So we're adding in our chocolate chips. It's 12 ounces, which is basically 1 bag. You can get chocolate and chop it up if you want, but I find that this is a lot easier. So, and since everything's so hot, it's gonna go really quickly. We also want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Just like that. And then we want to then add in our marshmallow fluff. And start to do that. And this is a messy recipe, and again, I'm sure it's got lots of calories, but you just burned a lot of them stirring, so you gotta keep that in mind. And also it's the holidays, so just have fun with it. And I wish you would all have smell-o-vision right now, because it is really good. Okay, so we added our fluff, which was about 7 ounces or 1 jar. We added in 12 ounces of chocolate chips, semi-sweet, and we also added in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that's it. You just stir this in and get it all mixed around, and everybody's in here having a good time partying. And once that gets incorporated, you stir it around, make sure that everything is nice and put together, and then we put it into our pan, a 9-inch if you've got it. If not, an 8-inch will do okay as well. And you let it cool, and once it cools, it is going to be ready to eat. All right, so we got it all stirred up, and the last thing to do is just pour it into a pan, and that's pretty much what it should look like. Nothing too fancy. If you like your fudge to have like walnuts or anything like that, then definitely add that after you've done this. Mainly because you can decide if you want to put it on half of the fudge or all of the fudge or whatever your heart desires. All right, so once you've got it in your pan, I like to kind of jiggle it around a little bit just to get it all mixed in and incorporated, and it kind of, I think, maybe gets some of the air bubbles out. So that should be what your finished product looks like. Whenever you're done, you just cut it into whatever size pieces that you want and then serve. So that is all we need to do for the moment, and we'll cut it in just a little bit. So we let the fudge sit for about 4 hours, and you can see now that it is ready to go. You could probably make this quicker by putting it in the fridge and letting it kind of relax, but this does the trick too. So you just cut a piece out. Again, it's very rich, but it's the holidays, so why not, is what I say. So you can cut it in whatever size you want, and the first piece is always the hard one to get out. But there you go. So let's try it. It's good. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let us know if you tried it. Let us know what you think, and have fun.